but a lot of different moments that we did see going the way of DK early, mid, and late that led to their victory. And Gen.G gonna pick first pick, not surprising, which means that DK, of course, gonna go for blue side.
Yeah, and D+ back on second pick, that comfort zone.
But they won on first pick.
What does it mean by that?
What did they mean by that? They're the only team to beat Gen.G, and it was with first pick.
Yeah, interesting. Interesting.
Maybe they should experiment a little bit here in the middle of the series.
No, they have to pick blue side.
Well,
they did win on blue side, right?
They did, yeah.
And that is, to them, the most important thing.
It's better than them picking red side after Gen.G pick first pick, at least. But we'll see what happens in this game. You know, if DK do go down, they will have the option to pick first pick, which they probably will not. Ambessa is going to be selected, and Orianna once again denied.
Yeah. Last time there was a little fight over the Rise. We'll see if something like that is set up again here. Cassiopeia has already been taken out of the pool. Do we get an Anivia ban to set up for the Rise? That is the question. Chovy's discussing.
Yeah, could also, you know, maybe give them the Rise, but
yeah.
I feel like in Game 3 that's a bit risky, so they ban away Anivia.
I think if we do get the Rise ban here, to me, Pantheon is a high prio pick that's still available. That often gets banned early rotation and hasn't had a look in yet, so maybe that's like something you want to prio early. We'll see.
I think you got to bet away Rise. Okay.
They'll go for the Aurora. So maintaining that ban that they had in the last game. It's obviously something that can be flexed and Keen will play. So I assume it's just going to be Rise first pick here.
Yeah. Especially for this team. I mean, Chovy's fantastic at it, but also Keen can play it. You know, he's not going to, but that's it just adds little bonus points. And now really the question is, what is Showmaker going to play into it, as Ashe and Mundo are coming out here? Probably going to see Seraphine eventually. Yeah,
we did see that sort of Ashe, Mundo, Seraphine composition. Like you have this front line that you just buff up, you have the slows, you kind of just death ball and move forward. Honestly, pretty difficult for the Rise to cut through that. And I know Rise obviously likes to AoE when people are clumped together, but the Mundo just charging at you is a bit problematic.
Yeah.
The Pantheon will come out, and Pantheon Rise is pretty fearsome. I'm not sure what you're going to necessarily be able to play into that mid, just with the fact that you have point-and-click CC from both parties to set it up. But my concern, for D+, it's what are you going to play mid? For Gen.G, it's what are you going to play bot? Because you know you're probably going to play into Ashe Seraphine. And bot lane pool's already been thinned a good amount.
Looking at Keen, thinking about Zahin.
Yep, and it is going to be uncontested. You're going to be able to ban away things you don't want to deal with potentially, because you assume Seraphine's coming out here if you're picking this Ashe in this situation.
Yeah.
If you don't pick Seraphine here, it's going to get banned. So, assuming this is what you want, it's kind of like now or never. But they actually go in a different direction. They're looking at the Renata. No.
Yeah, I don't really see why you would do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Unless you specifically wanted to take Renata Glask away from a Kalista Renata, but you could also just ban it away.
Playing Kalista Renata into Ashe Seraphine
there's just really no angle. I'm kind of grasping.
But this means you haven't secured your mid, you haven't secured your top, and I'm a little bit concerned about what you're going to play in the mid lane that's going to be able to survive against this, and not just get bullied out. I guess maybe... I mean, it's not something that Showmaker's played so far, but maybe like a Galio has a lot of wave clear, a lot of safety. LeBlanc has a lot of safety, but not as much wave clear. They're going to ban away the Gnar, though. They're kind of given a good matchup for Keen. The Zahen doesn't really like to play into range tops. Still a lot of those open and available, though. And for D+, they're just banning anything that can kind of hook these bot lane champions. With the Blitzcrank and the Nautilus being taken away, those are really the problematic ones. Like, you know, there is obviously Thresh, but he's not as like direct grab and pull. You kind of have to hook and then go in a bit more, and I think you still get shredded. The Victor comes through. A good amount of wave clear, but a little bit immobile.
Thinking about the Jax here.
I think Jax fits generally with the composition and is obviously Counter-Strike decent value into Zahen.
Yeah, gonna make it annoying for pretty much whatever AD carry Ruler wants to play that's left over if this Jax does get fed.
I'm just not sure what Showmaker is going to be able to play, but they're leaving it till last anyway. And now for the bot lane. No.
No. You're not playing Kalista into Ashe Seraphine Jax, please. Okay, well, they want to make it interesting.
Troublesome.
Not a Glask.
Troublesome. Well, I wish them luck. This is definitely a confidence pick from Ruladuro.
Yeah, he loves Kalista, but like...
An uphill battle.
Yeah.
I will say, Gen.G definitely challenging themselves in this one. Showmaker considering going for the TF. Actually goes to the Malzahar. I think this is actually pretty cool. You know, we talked about the point-and-click CC being a problem. If you maintain your passive, a lot harder for them just to set up. You have wave clear, right? You can just kind of be non-interactive. The ult as well, suffocating into a composition. It's a short-range composition. So much control from this D+ composition. It's so hard for anyone to step up. There's so much CC. There's a lot of frontline. There's a lot of AoE, a lot of death ball. I think this is really hard for Gen.G to play. If they don't get an early lead, really going to see them struggling in this one. I don't think people get to play the game. Yeah,
and it's not easy to get an early lead with what they have either. I mean, unless Canyon can go insane mode on this Pantheon and just out-gank the Mundo, which generally he should be able to, but I think he's got to have a really big impact early on.
Yeah, I think realistically for the side of D+, just don't opt into these unnecessary skirmishes. Don't take these silly fights when you don't need to. We've seen so many games. We've seen so many games, even with crazy 13,000 gold leads being thrown, right? You don't even need to get to that point, though. There's plenty of fights you don't need to take. The game is harder to close out now. Baron is harder to take. You don't need to fight over every scuttle crab. It's not needed. So just trust in your composition. You're against a Kalista. Chill out, take it slow, and wait for the late game.
Yep. Chill out, take it slow. Surely they will do that as we hop onto the Rift for Game 3. All right, here we go. Level 1 shenanigans.
I think the main thing is tracking Pantheon because, you know, you should have prio on bot lane. As long as you just know where the Pantheon is, you should be able to have a good time in the bot lane 2v2, and as long as you're not getting ganked, you're fine. Level 6 gets a little scary because the Pantheon gets access to the ult and can start to be a threat. But yeah, just don't fall apart early. And I think D+ are in a great spot.
Yeah, I think it's funny, we've said that so many times, and teams have opted into not doing that, playing very aggro. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen here for D+ Kia, because it would be very interesting, actually, for us if Gen.G actually fell to D+, or at least if the series got close. We expected this, the majority of us, to go 3-0, and the 3 of us that did not vote for that voted for 3-1. So.
I also think it's cool that like Showmaker brought out this Malzahar pick. I was thinking like, what can he play that's going to be able to function? You know, you're into Pantheon Rise, a lot of the safer mid picks have been taken away. How are you going to be able to deal with this potential threat in the mid lane where they have easy gank set up on a lot of the mobile picks, and you also want to have wave clear, which a lot of, you know, like LeBlanc doesn't really have wave clear and also doesn't fit the comp. But this works well, you know. Offers a lot in team fights too. A lot of control.
Yep. Bit of trade of sums.
Oh no,
Canyon is coming down.
No, the level 3 gank.
Yeah, they just burned cleanse. This is becoming more and more popular, this level 3 gank, and here comes Duro. Engage Renata alongside of Engage Pantheon. Smash in a lot of trouble. There's the handshake, and Smash is done. First blood given over to Canyon. Even a little bit of extracurricular activity there at the end. But still, that's like one of the ways that this lane can go poorly, as they have no flash, no suns.
Yep. 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 And you know what? It really comes back to the tempo cleanse from Smash, because that cleanse he used was unnecessary. He wasn't going to die. He just kind of cleansed because he was like, you know, if I don't cleanse here, I might take a bit more damage.
Yeah.
The handshake was like max range. He was actually honestly fine. But as soon as that cleanse went, it's like a signal to Canyon, hey, come bot. It's guaranteed. Guaranteed 100% kill if we go and Smash. And, you know, what happened?
Yeah, it was.
And now with sums down, this is where there's a lot more vulnerability for Smash in Korea. So
this is going to be a Smite fight. They both have Smite here, as it was a bit early, but still. Up a level here is Lucid, has red buff that was stolen, and now Canyon just being run down here. Might be forced to flash. There it is. Gets bonked on the head by that big Summoner's Cup.
And the thing is, if Canyon had been flash bot, that would have been a kill. So a little bit unfortunate there as well. He didn't even have to invest flash in the bot lane to make that gank work. You can see when it is that 2v2, it should just be Smash and Korea poking them out.
Yeah. I felt like Ruler and Duro had a good understanding of how the early couple of levels were playing out. I thought they were trading pretty well. Obviously getting the cleanse was game-changing.
Yeah.
But yeah, now at this point, I feel like the Ashe and Seraphine should be very dominant. Cannon gets in, picks up the Scuttle Crab, and is able to get a nice back in. Top lane we haven't looked at too much, but, you know, Jack's the counter pick coming into the Zion. Looks like he's doing well.
Having a good old time. I think obviously the Zion likes to be able to trade into melees to get that passive stacked up, but just hard to do that into a Jax. But holding up pretty well in terms of farm. So far, pretty close outside of that Fierce Blood. Which, if the game is slow, D+ are fine with that. And they just need to buy time until those summoners are back up for the bot lane. That is the main thing. Canyon invading here. A little risky into the Mundo. The Ryze is trying to back him up.
Yeah, Lucid just ignoring the... Oh, they're trying to go for a Realm War play on to Lucid here, who just says, I will flash this, just to get away.
And you have to be so careful when you're that low on HP, because of the Pantheon execute damage. Yeah, Showmaker hit 6.
And he was aggressively trading, and Lucid was right there. Like, if he just presses R on him, takes a cleaver, I think Chovy could just die. So
it's just one of those moments where Chovy, like, he just hit 6 and used Realm Warp, and then he's like aggressively trading, and then Showmaker also hit 6. It's like, oh yeah, he gets an ult too.
Yeah.
Did flash immediately. Immediately recognized the threat he was under.
Speaking of level 6, Xiu, aggressive trade's gonna force the flash out of Keen, who does not have his Grim Deliverance either.
Yeah, I assume he ulted in and then regretted it. A lot of power afforded to Jax when he gets that ultimate. So far, I think, you know, even though we haven't seen capitalization on the lack of summoners that the D+ bot lane had, you know, obviously the Fierce Gang cannot having the cleanse, but all the summoners being down, I think not able to really push the advantage in the 2v2 that they should have for the matchup alone.
Mundo goes where he pleases, and he is very much wanting to go in and check the Raptors right in front of Chovy, soak some XP. Didn't need to do that, but wanted to check. Canyon is here on Vision, so Xiu just able to hop away. Still has his flash. But Canyon has been showing up to the top lanes at pretty nice timings to try to either get kills or to help out his laner.
Yeah, and Showmaker's going to hit that point on Malzahar where you can just blitz to the wave and just not interact with your opponent. Which is also really nice to have into a Ryze because it limits his ability to move if you're just melting the wave.
Yeah. The main issue that Malzahar has is, of course, if all the little void monsters come out, he can just kind of clean them up with one rotation.
Yeah.
So it makes it a little bit annoying, but Malzahar's still pretty good at pushing that lane. Lucid doing a lot of counter jungling. As here we go. There's the path down level 6, and it looks like Career might just die. He's going to flash over the wall, and the Ren comes out, and they say, you know, we've learned. And here comes Lucid, though. Going to slow down Canyon, who does not have his flashback just yet. Lucid lands another one and keeps them around. Showmaker wants to press his R button, or so I thought, but he couldn't press it onto the Renata glass because of the Fate's Call.
Yeah.
And so sticking around, there's the flash R, and that is the lack of counterplay that they do have. But Ruler is able to flash away, but now the dive looking to come on in, and the Cleaver kill just bonks him on the head.
Nicely played there. I think so patient with the ability. Showmaker not falling for the Kalista trap. I've seen so many players do it before, where you just kind of forget the Kalista's in the game, and they just, you know, burn cooldowns.
Oh, Keen, no flash. He's in a bit of trouble. Although
he's been having a rough time today into Shiwu. Forced away there. But yeah, so ult comes in. They had the summoners again, though. So able to flash out of this one, and the re-engage play comes in. The slows, the mounting pressure from this composition as they just run forward. Showmaker holds his ult, though. Not falling for the trap. So many players fall for. We don't get to continue this.
Oh, the drag back does come through the Grim Deliverance, and she was just dead. Had flash, did not get an opportunity to use it.
Yep. Unfortunate. And a good gank there from Chovy. Still a bit of a goal lead for Gen.G even after everything. But I think ultimately D+ fine with that. Fierce Dragon was the Ocean, next is the Cloud. I mean, Cloud Soul would have been crazy for D+, but a lot of good souls still available.
Yeah, even Chemtech, obviously, if you can pick up a bunch of those individual ones, and then the soul for the Jax and the Mundo feels very nice.
Yeah.
So, does feel like pretty much everything is going to be strong for them. We'll see if they can actually play for the Cloud Drake. I would imagine they should be able to, but Canyon's got flash and ult up soon, so. Again, looking at him to try to make an impact early on in this game and really warp the lanes for his team.
Will now with a gold lead in the bot lane, which obviously isn't ideal when you have this matchup. But still, you're kind of okay with it, just with how this game is going to play out. The Kalista is going to have a hard time. That's the expected result. And in general, short-range comp into Seraphine, Ashe, Malzahar, you're going to have to play the QSS stacks. And it's like, I mean, Duro's going towards Mikhail's here. Oh.
Flash on in. This is Canyon trying to make a play. Showmaker just wandering in the bottom river. He is so dead. They give the kill over to Canyon.
One of the problems with Malzahar, you are immobile. You know, walking through the river, tricky. If you get caught out, there's just not a ton you can do if it's
curious why he was there in the first place.
Not sure. I think he was trying to move bot to assist with a play, and they just got the jump on him. They have like a deep ward in the lane that I think spotted him out.
Pretty unfortunate. Canyon will land the smite this time. They do have this Drake up and available now. Here come the slows and the arrow. Trade of ultimates. Ruler does take a little bit of damage there as well. Meanwhile, in mid lane, here is Canyon once again. No flash though, but he is very fast. As the ult comes in, catches him under the turret, and it might just get him. Yes, it will.
That ult timing was so good. He interrupted the stun. He actually had started the dash, and he caught him on it. Worked out so well, because he ends up getting the 1-for-1 trade when he would have otherwise just been dead.
Yeah.
Showmaker being targeted heavily now, but able to mitigate that, and now Lucid picks up the dragon. It's a Mountain Soul, which is just kind of disgusting if D+ can get that. I mean, Mountain Soul in general is pretty good.
I think for both teams, really going to love to pick that up. Oh, we got the encore here. Ruler in a bit of trouble. Is going to have the bailout. Lucid getting pretty low, but he is Mundo. As, yep, not quite enough damage does come out. Meanwhile, we did see Chiu go down up in the top lane, but nice little play from DK down on the bottom side.
Yeah, Chovy doing his best to be proactive. He kind of knows in this game you need to make things happen early, and he's just kind of been everywhere so far. But Lucid You know, we often see the Mundo just kind of farming, kind of scaling up, but he's trying to be active himself on this pick. You were so low here. I think you just have to... There was 4 minions. 4 minions under the tower. I don't think Chovy got an assist at least, so that's a small silver lining. And here the R flash comes in, catches out the Kalista, who has no cleanse. And then Lucid securing the kill and flashing out so the bailout doesn't come through. A nice play there. Yeah, Mikhail's is completed for Duro, but there's no cleanse for Ruler, and I mean, a QSS is going to have to come eventually, but you kind of need your core items first.
Yeah, he's working towards that first one. And, I mean, this is a game, you know, we saw King get ahead on the Jace, but this time he's ahead on the Zahan, and that feels much better in today, you know, in today's League of Legends, I would say. Compared to a Jace that's ahead. Newer champion, it's really strong when it's ahead especially. You know, if you're a Zahan and you're kind of like just trading even, like, yeah, you can still get stuff done, but we have seen some unkillable Zahans, and it is not fun to play into. Who was it, Dudu, I think, that was playing that?
Yeah. I also think that as much as D+'s composition I think is really strong, if you do start to fall behind, you know, picks like Malzahar and Ashe, they do feel like they just don't do much damage from behind.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we're diving top, so those look like Canyon and Ruler and them are going to get away. Grim Deliverance does come in, but she was being run down by Chovy, who's got the Realm Warp and just kills him as he's warping. So that's a pretty easy kill on Ashi, who is now 0-3.
Yeah, they are just bullying him out, and it's not really comfortable for Showmaker to move. These solo laners just being targeted so heavily. Oh, they found Canyon here.
Yeah, there's an opportunity. Gets the dot down, and Canyon with no flash, I think eventually just dies. He is healing quite a lot, though, yeah, and the burn does come in as Chovy's here and wants to get something back. Doesn't get much back at all.
Nice.
Let's take a look at the top lane.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes that just happens. And the thing is, she was doing pretty good in the 1v1 initially, but yeah, ganks are a thing. And it just feels like Chovy just walks up top again and again and again. And there's just not much you can do in this situation. You know, he dodges away from the Grim Deliverance, and then Chovy is grimly delivered to him.
That's cool. I don't know if we've ever seen a kill mid-warp.
Yeah. And here, really not fun playing the Pantheon. You have the dot on you, the Blackfire Torch as well. Yeah.
You're just not going to get away there.
It's a big lead for Gen.G so far. A lot of it on Keen, though. So he has a lot of responsibility in this game. And Showmaker does have a I'm not going to let you play the game button, but I feel like if they ult him, he's just going to kind of live through it. Like, they have to kill him as well.
So we got TP and Lucid coming up here, but we got a TP coming in from Gen.G as well, as Chovy wants to join on in here, and Showmaker's going to die first. So essentially just a safety TP from Chovy. Not even 100% sure they needed it, but either way, they get him in there. They make sure 100% the kill is secured. Once again, it's really just all been about Chovy and Canyon all over the map, trying to make plays, looking for dives, getting kills.
Yeah, that proactivity. And Shu just struggling right now, suffering. They should be able to set up this Herald. Showmaker has TP though, so maybe a contest could come through.
And he's got lockdown as well. He's got that ult available. Duro just trying to frontline here. He gets stunned up, but now Keen and Canyon leading the charge, and in the choke is the hostile takeover, just zones them away. Here's Showmaker. Doesn't want to use it onto Duro again, as now we're going to have the flash on forward, but again, that's only on a Duro. And Canyon just gets in the Rift Herald. It's like, what's up, guys? See you later.
You can see D+ so much so trying to force that fight, seeing an angle, having these big cooldowns for the 5v5, but Gen.G just opt out of it. And a lot of flashes burn from D+. Showmaker, Smash, Career all have theirs down. Showmaker's was a bit before when that gank happened, but big flashes unavailable on these immobile backliners. And Dragon's up and available right now. Mountain Dragon being moved towards. But that Seraphine ult is down. Asharo's going to be up in a second.
This Rift Herald, by the way, it was dropped at the red team Raptors. And it's just being annoying. It's going to have to be cleared out in mid before they do make a move here towards the Dragon.
Showmaker still has his ult. Chovy doesn't have TP and he's not here, by the way. But neither does Shiwu, but Shiwu's a lot weaker.
No, the arrow's going to go wide. That's an ult already down. They engage onto the Mundo, but they just zone him away, essentially. Lucid does have to flash. As Keen is not done with his food, he takes down another kill. I think that's his third of the contest. As they get the Dragon, the half-hearted engage from DK does not work, and they lose another one.
It was such a weird setup because Showmaker was so split. He was like a flanking Malzahar, and it's such a weird position to be in. Like, you want to push in together and have the Malzahar to control from the front. Instead, he was trying to approach and just wasn't there. So when Keen goes in, like, look at this. He's on this flank angle. So Gen.G are like, what is this guy doing? We're just going to kill Mundo. Showmaker's like, oh, no, I can help. I can ult Keen. Any second now, I'm coming. I've got it. Oh, I'm too far away. I'm over the wall. Oh, never mind. Okay, I'm leaving. You know.
Yeah.
Like,
he needs to be with the Ashe.
Yeah.
So that the Ashe can deal
honestly,
damage.
As much as Keen is super fed, them not having Shiwu there for Chovy even things up a good amount. Because Chovy's a lot stronger than Shiwu is. So I'm not saying that fight was like super easy or anything, but it would have helped a lot if they just played it out and had like the front to back setup. A little bit unfortunate there.
Yeah. This game definitely looking a lot more of what we expected from this series.
I think this game is looking really rough right now because Showmaker's 2 levels down on Chovy. Chovy is Chovying. He has 215 CS, by the way.
Yeah.
He is... So sometimes we see it, it's like the number is 2 levels higher. Like Chovy's level 14, Showmaker's level 12. But it's like, oh, Showmaker's about to hit a level. But that's not true. He's 2 full levels up. Well, you may think, well, maybe he hit the Rod of Ages. No. His Rod of Ages isn't completed yet. He was just 2 full levels up. Showmaker's gained some XP since I started this, but he is so far ahead. Like, that's the thing. Keen is ahead in gold, but he's only like a level up. Chovy's very scary.
Yeah. Keep in mind that they had the ability to ban Ryze. They would have had to deal with Aurora instead, but with no Anivia answer and then no pick for the mid lane
and
the first 3,
Cassiopeia
also gone, just means that he had to go onto something weird like a Malzahar, and so far it's just not working out for him.
Chovy's just had free reign. I also think just, you know what looks so scary? Look at the health bar difference.
Yeah.
Like Chovy he has exactly 3,000 health. Look at the bottom left. He had exactly 3,000 health.
He's flexing.
Yeah. Just nailed it perfectly.
Yeah.
Showmaker does not have 3,000 health.
All right, well, they're going to get the Counter-Strike down, and Lucid's like, I'm here, I'm helping. It's not really what the Mundo is for.
I think the problem is Chovy's so tanky and does so much damage.
That's
and
the Ryze.
D+ being behind, they have a lot of slows, but they're just not going to be able to cut through them.
Yeah. They need the Jax to be online. I think especially when they pick something like the Malzahar, they say, okay, we have Ashe, we have Jax. I think at like 2-3 items, they should be able to shred, but not if you're down 7,000 gold 20 minutes in. You're not hitting those items, and the enemy is much tankier, so...
Being down 7,000 gold, generally speaking, not optimal.
Yeah. Just makes a comp like this even more difficult, because you don't have, like, huge potential to burst someone down. Like, you do have the Malzahar ult.
Oh, nice ult.
But that's about it. And the Ashe arrow. But a lot of it can be denied. You know, Grim Deliverance, you have Fate's Call as well, and we also have Mikhail's stun, so there's no good target anymore.
Wait, is Chovy just fudging the CS numbers by... Does he get a CS number every time he kills one of the little... I'm assuming not, right? Or does he? We need to check this.
I would say probably not.
Does he?
You can see right here. I think he did.
Did he? I thought he did.
Did he not? I don't know.
I don't know.
Wait, go back bot. We need to see the bottom lane.
We need to know if he's getting a CS.
It's the most interesting thing happening right now.
If he's getting CS numbers every single time he kills like the void monsters, he's literally just fudging the numbers. Jovi's cheating the system.
He needs to be audited. This is not fair.
Jovi just starts requesting every single mid lane in the league, picks Malzahar into him so he can just boost his CS numbers.
That does sound like something he would do.
Yep.
Oh, they're trying to posture mid. We got a second Mountain Drake of the game spawning in 10 seconds. But there's zero vision control, and DK are trying to push through mid to get some.
Because obviously you get CS numbers when you kill a ward, right?
Yeah.
We've all had the classic, you kill a ward level 1, and then, you know, you flex that you have infinitely more CS than them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Toby just hit his Rod of Ages 10th stack, so now he's almost a full 3 levels ahead of Showmaker.
Level 16 on Rise. Yeah, it's rather good. Pretty solid.
Yeah. Realm Warp from anywhere. And now, as DK, the Dragon's already gone. We have Engage Renata coming in, and Engage Pantheon, I suppose, going over the top. They're trying to turn on to the Pantheon, but they just don't have any damage! And Chovy's soloing them. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Shu actually getting pretty close, but it is the res on the Zahin, so at the end of the day, you know, at least he got that. But that's not going to feel good regardless. Gen.G, they pick up the Dragon, they pick up the kill, and now they want to pick up the Baron.
Yeah, Chovy's damage is just a little bit insane. And he's going to have Actualizer probably after this Baron. It's so cheap now. We haven't even seen an Actualizer yet. Yeah. So, okay, well, this game seems a little bit unfortunate for D+. Oh, Lucy.
Yeah. You know, you gotta try, right?
I respect it.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
It would be nice to hit some shots, though. He hit one last game. Okay, we did get confirmation from production. You only get CS for minions, not for Malzahar. So he has not been fudging the numbers. The audit has come through. Legitimate CS. Yeah, he just walks up to Malzahar and just doesn't take any damage. Ignores Mundo, he doesn't care. He's like, I see better targets. And they both flash away from him in desperation. And now he has Actualizer, so good luck.
Yeah, he's about to actualize all over the Rift, and there's really not much that DK can do except think about game number 4.
Look, I know Showmaker's about to level up, but for a moment, 17 to 13. Ugh.
It happened. It really did.
Oh my god. Yeah, we have the little graphic. It was a second too late, though, because Showmaker hit 14. Well,
he's still more than 3 levels behind. Oh, man. And again, this is what I expected from the series. Game 2 was a fluke. Like, Gen.G made egregious mistakes.
You say that, but I feel like Chovy's not been playing bad. I think we just have a really high standard for him.
Yeah.
But Chovy, this is peak Chovy right now. Like, Chovy has not been peak Chovy in all through the LCK Cup. Right now, he is peak Chovy.
So you think he should get POM?
At this rate, yes. His Ari game was really impressive. This game has been really impressive.
I forgot I had Meteox here on the space or on the,
no, I mean,
on the desk.
Based on this, he absolutely has earned it so far. If they win the series, you know.
It feels bad, you know, when you vote for Chovy when he deserves it because he gets so many votes.
Well.
He gets so many votes when he doesn't deserve it 100%.
I mean,
but yeah,
his
I do think
his LCK Cup performance has been very good, but like again, I think we just have him to such a high standard. But his standard so far in the series has been insane. And the thing is, Showmaker's been the best performer on D+, so I thought there'd be more of a fight. But Chovy's just been, quite frankly, gapping.
Yeah. He does not have Realm Warp, and he does not care.
Yeah.
This is Keen making his way in with a newly crafted Death Stance.
Yeah, you're not killing him.
Oh, they got through his shields. Okay, and the Encore comes in, and we're still not killing him.
It was close.
The bailout does come through. Chovy just trying to stand and deliver. Not quite going to work, though, as the stun hits too. Ruler goes down. Chovy hits the ground. And all of a sudden, DK find 3. We do have the ult away here from Canyon. And a nice little showing from DK.
Guys, it just feels like game 1 all over again. It's like you get 10,000 gold down, and D+ are like, wait, our comp could do something. Yeah, I mean, this is what the comp wanted to do, right? You have so much power, the big Seraphine ult, you fire up all these slows, right? You have the AoE healing shield. Look at all this healing that comes through from the Seraphine.
Yeah.
Keeping everyone healthy. The Mundo and the Jax moving forward. The CC from the Ash Arrow.
Smash got 1,100 gold from Chovy.
And this team, if they could just teleport to this point of the game, you know.
Start down 10,000 gold.
No,
from there.
no. If you could just start 30 minutes in the game, even gold.
Oh,
I think D Plus could. Honestly, they'd be in a pretty good spot.
You know what else they could do is play the early games better. That's also an option.
Okay, but we're being realistic now, Brendan.
Maybe something to work on for the future.
Yeah. Well, it's Mountain Soul in 5 seconds. The sad thing about that last passage of play was that no one on Gen.G actually flashed. So they actually have all sums. The good thing is that there's a lot of sums on D+ as well. So everything's on the table. Let's see how it goes.
Well, that was a very long handshake. The arrow is going to sail wide, but a lot of damage already done to Chovy here.
Chovy's level 18, so at least he can't get higher level.
Yeah. Sustain healing will go through to the side of DK. Kane can't really enter. He's being zoned away by the team, but this dragon already has a lot of sticks in it from the Callista, and the 1v1 is going on, but they're looking for that Mountain Soul. But Lucid in the pit was already able to steal one. Instead, this time he's just gonna have to flash away, and now Chovy just flashes on in, doesn't do a whole lot, but tanks quite a bit. Should be going down though, as Duro as well, just thrown on in. And Shiu trying to attack that front line, but he is going to be taken down. They do get the Renata Glass, but Ruler is untouched, and Keen is untouched. Down will go Showmaker. And Keen a little bit low, but with the Callista on the chase, it looks like they can't do much. Trying a little bit to go too far. And, you know, props to them against Mountain Soul, and down 10,000 damage was a decent fight, but yeah, still not winning.
You're starting to see some of the merits of the D+ composition. But part of the problems is they're 10,000 gold down, the enemy team just got the Mountain Soul, and also there was this awkward situation where they're like, guys, we have to stop them stacking the Callista stacks in the Dragon. And Lucid's like, I'll let them stack me instead. That's also not good. Chovy's like, I'll flash in and bait the QSS. Well, he did that, and then died. It got a little messy here. A lot of CC being thrown down. Again, the value, the AoE healing, shielding, they are still 10,000 gold down. Did kind of run out of gas in the tank. Lucy didn't have his ult anymore. We've seen crazier things, but it doesn't feel super winnable still.
Yeah. I think against Mountain Soul, where you've got QSS on Chovy with the upgraded Mercs, you've got Mercs for pretty much everybody.
There's still no healing reduction on Gen.G though.
Yeah. They do have 3 QSSs though.
Yeah.
They have to pay too much tax. They're like, no, we can't afford that.
You have to keep track of who is QSS, right? You have to just like burn it on something else. Ash Arrow, someone, or whatever. That's the problem, is they're so wealthy, that 10,000 gold, they've just spent it on QSSs. And they're like, right, Malzahar isn't a champion anymore.
Ruler's going to be really tanky. I mean, he's got Terminus, probably going to be going for the purple item.
Jack Show.
Jack Shows. Yeah.
If Lucid gets level 16, that's a huge spike for the Mundo. So, hoping for that. He is almost level 15. There we go. One more level.
Yeah.
They are being threatened mid. Shiwu just keeps 1v1ing Keen off to the side. It's been like a regular occurrence when everything else is going on.
Yeah.
The top lane is in their own world, kind of.
It's for the best. We do have the engage here from everybody, it feels like. Chovy and Canyon get on in there. They get encored, they get charged, but they don't seem to care. They just don't want to be kited out in this game, and they will not be in this one, as Shiu eventually is going to go down, and that will be the end of the game. Showmaker still alive, but still not even level 16. Malzahar not able to get as much value as he would have hoped, as Gen.G will take the series here 2-1. They have one more game to go until they can fully take it, as down will go the Nexus. And Gen.G a very comfortable game number 3 win.
Game, I think, is a massive factor here. Yeah, that gold graph, Wait, actually, if you look, see at about the 2-minute mark, I think it gets above the line briefly.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm looking real close. I'm not sure.
It still looks
We'll have to assess it.
gold colors.
Yeah, it does look gold. Perhaps not.
볼래? 야 이거
나
하고
공
있거든?
긁게 공 긁게.
야 탑 깨면서 탑 깨면서
깨면서 나 깨면서.
야 딸피
나왔어 나왔어.
애쉬 노플 야 텍스 노플
말자 되긴 하는데.
일단 가보자 일단 끝내 일단 타부터 밀게
안 되겠다.
애쉬 풀 있었네 있을 거 같긴 했어요 근데 상관없어 얘 풀로 보던가 저 풀이 없어요
내가 있긴 한데
잘 가요
딜이 안 된다.
나이스